right, well, we just got back from the best Turtles adaptation ever. He loved it. So, if you ever thought you needed a reason to appreciate Turtles 3, this movie will give you that reason.
Yeah, it was definitely worse in some respects.
They didn't say it's Star Trek time, so I was pretty disappointed by that. They had a bunch of other stupid references. Oh, look, it's a cat playing chopsticks with chopsticks. I'm Michelangelo. I say something stupid all the time. That's my character.
Yeah, he was just a one-trick pony. It was weird. Why don't we get the looks of the turtles out of the way first,
Okay.
since that's the thing everyone talks about anyway.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, Michelangelo is just lips.
Yeah, he's
That's
the
all he is.
ugliest of them all. But he's the one who probably bothers me the most, and he kind of looks Shrek-like, especially when he takes the mask off.
Yeah, and, I mean, Leonardo and Raphael looked okay-ish.
Yeah, Leonardo, I think, is the best one.
Yeah.
Because he has sort of a classic-ish turtle look to him, except the nostrils are still there and annoying, but...
Yeah, and Donatello was just, like, covered in electronics.
Yeah.
That was
Because
his...
he's a nerd. That's his character.
That was his personality, is that he's covered in electronics. The end. Oh, and glasses. He has glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. Raphael had a bandana and was angry.
Yeah.
And he had Oakleys, too, for some reason.
They were Oakleys.
Well, I mean, like, that type of dumb sunglasses.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they showed that and they're just like, brand placement.
Yeah, they did a lot of that. It's like they had the Windows Phone, a really shitty Windows Phone, because every time April used it, it was like glitching out on her and couldn't take pictures. So it was like, that was the best product placement ever.
Yeah, it was a phone that told you low light, therefore it would just refuse to take a picture.
Yeah, she just stood there like, oh, I can't take a picture, better get closer to them in the low light.
That's why she's the best reporter out there. She carries her phone everywhere. She never had a real camera. She just used her phone.
Yeah, and she had like a crappy Canon point and shoot one at some point. She just I think that scene where they're going down the hill, she pulled out one of those for a second and then didn't take a picture because she's a shitty reporter. Yeah. So
Awesome.
2 cameras. Perfect.
So, I mean, a lot of the problem was just how they didn't get you engaged into the characters ever, and they didn't build things up. Like, the very start of the movie, like you were saying, you liked how the comic book look, and I can agree with that.
Yeah, it looked cool at the very least.
But I had a problem with just them having Splinter just go, here's the turtle story.
Yeah.
You know it already. So where are you watching this for? Just, you know it. Here they are.
But then they do an intro of the characters anyway, and they do their backstory anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're skipping over that. They're just telling you what's going to happen, I guess. No, it looked cool.
Yeah.
I wish the movie was like that for the whole movie. It would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Megan Fox!
They could have had a piece of wood just sitting there, and just it would have been in this engaging life-like.
Well, lots of makeup on a piece of wood.
Yeah, okay. Well,
yeah.
Slather that plank with some makeup. Here you, April, looking hat. Just a big ass on the piece of wood. Oh, man.
Yeah.
She is so bad in this. Holy shit.
So there's that one scene where she's going 4 years. I spent 4 years becoming a reporter. And it's just 4 years.
Yeah, they give her the most time in this movie, and
I don't know why.
Yeah, she's so flat. I don't believe anything she's saying at any point.
Well, the whole movie's about her.
Yeah.
She kicks off everything. She's responsible for everything.
Yeah, it's the one the movie tries to do some character stuff with, but it doesn't work because she's so dead inside.
Yeah. It's just...
And the turtles are just their characterizations, and It's them interacting with Planky.
Yeah.
Planky O'Neill.
And Will Arnett, who's just
and
Will Arnett.
Yeah, he's just Will Arnett. There's nothing Vernon about him.
Yeah.
I was really hoping he would be like sleazier Will Arnett, at least for this.
I mean, that would have made him Vern.
Yeah.
But no, he was just kind of like normal Will Arnett.
Yeah, and he's just hitting on April. That's his thing in this.
It's kind of weird because aren't they like vastly different in age?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of like cradle robbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it goes and it evens out because Michelangelo also wants her.
Right, yeah. Because everyone wants Megan Fox.
Yeah.
It's like...
Especially Whoopi Goldberg. Their sex scene was weird.
Yeah. They it's a little too touching. It's like they made it very emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, with Michelangelo in there, I mean, I don't know how they pulled that one off.
And then she just yells, "Go, go, 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 go!"
No, she just goes, "You're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy."
What she really did, that's all. She said "you're crazy" in 2 scenes, and that was Whoopi Goldberg's cameo appearance as Bernadette Thompson.
Yeah, it's
pointless reference.
And she was, like, again, as another cameo character like Will Arnett, she just was Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't anything that made her, like, different. She just played Whoopi Goldberg saying a person's crazy.
Yeah.
That was it.
And she didn't even say, "Go, go, 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 go." So I was really disappointed with her.
Yeah. I don't really understand how she was, like, managing all those reporters, too, because they just sort of said shit, and she just sort of looked at them weird.
Yeah. we'll just yell our stories out at you.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, I got this story. I hope you have evidence for it. No? Oh, well, I don't want to hear about it then. Like, they're mad about April even bringing up the story when she's just saying it's vigilantes trying to stop the Foot Clan. It's like, don't want to hear it unless there's concrete evidence. It's like, no, maybe you don't want to report on it till then, but usually you might still want to investigate some of these things.
The story's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's like, no.
What about that guy? Do you remember that guy that was, like, heckling her? The guy who, like, the other reporter dude, he's like, "Oh, what happened? A trampoline convention?" What?
I forget that guy.
He's the guy who said, "Oh, yeah, and I bet Superman showed up."
Oh,
too."
yeah. Yeah. Superman.
He was just a random reporter dude who was heckling her while she was telling her story, but it was like the lamest heckling ever.
That reminds me, the music wasn't very good for the most part. Like, in one of their stings that always come up just kind of remind me of the generic superhero-y thing.
That's basically all it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't iconic at all.
Yeah, like you think of the music in the original Turtles movie, and it set tones all the time.
Yeah, it was kind of gritty feeling.
Yeah. You know, it had a dark tone for like when Shredder would come in and stuff. And this Shredder is just so flat. At least it wasn't White Shredder like it seemed like it was going to be first. But basically they split Shredder into 2 characters.
Yeah.
They had rich businessman guy and then actual Shredder. And it's just like, there's no real reason that 2 characters need to be doing this part. Yeah. Because it should just be Shredder, really.
Yeah, like the whole plot was just like, rich businessman goes to Japan.
Yeah.
Gets taught by Shredder, comes back and decides to destroy New York.
Yeah.
I guess.
With his sax.
With his sax. Yeah, the guy's last name is Sax, and the last scene of the movie takes place on Sax Tower, which they say so fast it sounds like Sex Tower. So let's go to Sex Tower. We gotta stop Shredder at Sex Tower.
Never get past my sax.
It's like, I mean, the movie's already been ridiculed long before anybody saw anything about it. Why would you give people fodder? Like, why would you name a character Sax? Like,
I don't know.
It's just like they acknowledged the aliens thing.
Yeah, I did like they made fun of the aliens thing. It's like, what are they, aliens? That's stupid.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. There's another moment that made me chuckle was when Shredder said, "Tonight I dine on turtle soup."
That was great.
Yeah, I liked that. I mean, there's a few parts in it too that would work if the movie overall was better.
Yeah, I kind of like the elevator scene near the end. It was kind of funny.
It was like one of the few moments where they're all just doing that together, that you see the turtles just kind of goofing off together. You know, it's the first time you get a scene like that, because Raph's mad like the first time you see the turtles, and
for no reason. He's just mad. He's always mad
because that's his character. They know Raph was mad in the original movie. So.
Yeah, and Leonardo's just blanding in the background constantly.
Yeah, Leonardo's almost nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything of note other than he gets told that he's the leader because he has katanas, and those are what leaders hold.
Yeah,
that's about it. But then the story's really about Raphael because he does all the important shit.
Michelangelo makes jokes, Donatello does nothing but say tech things, and Splinter gives backstory.
Yep.
Like, they're so bland. And, like, there's a part where they're fighting Shredder now on the top of the building, and instead of, like, getting close in and showing the action, it zooms out just to show the buildings. I was kind of like, that sums up a lot of this movie. You know, it's just trying to be a spectacle rather than giving you anything in close and any detail.
Yeah, well, like, there's no fighting. There's like a bunch of action scenes, but there's very few where the turtles are actually fighting or doing anything. And when they do fight, they're awful. Yeah. Like, they get their asses kicked constantly. The only times they don't get their asses kicked is when they're fighting normal people with guns.
Yeah. And there's a good reason, actually, that they're not that good of fighters, apparently. They learn ninjutsu from a book Splinter found on the ground in the sewer.
Yep. And it's not even like an instructional booklet or anything. It's just a bunch of pictures of ninjas.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's just like, here's some poses that ninjas strike.
Yeah,
that's it.
How do they become really great ninjas with a fucking book they found on the ground?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And it's weird, too, because, like, the turtles were in a lab with the Sax guy, and Sax guy was trained by Shredder, and Sax supposedly told the other dude, April's dad, about, like, ninjutsu in Japan and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how any of that came about. It was just random happenstance that Splinter found that book, and he's like, oh, well, I'll teach them ninjutsu, okay? I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There's zero connection between the two. It just happened to work out for them, I guess.
Yeah. There's very little, like, connection between a lot of things, even though their stories are intertwined. It's kind of like Shredder and the Turtles, too. It's like, they have backstory together because Shredder was the secret backer of their Project Renaissance. But, I mean, when they actually have scenes with Shredder, there's nothing personal between them. It's just like, hey, look, there's the bad guy. We gotta fight him.
Yeah. Yeah, and...
Cowabunga, dudes! I said it, huh? I didn't understand the ending of Lost.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's like they're almost all about to die, so they're saying out random shit. And then, that's what Michelangelo says. Yeah. Raphael says something meaningful, and then they're like, no, we're alive! Oh, let's make fun of Raph for saying something serious for once.
We've seen that in a lot of movies where a character says, something sentimental, especially a gruffer one, and it's just like, we're not gonna die anymore. Oh man, I feel stupid.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's just chock full of cliches and bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then there's how April is connected to the Turtles in every single way imaginable.
Yep, she's responsible for everything that's important about the Turtles. She,
after she meets them, she runs home and has her 15-year-old tape at the ready, and she just pops into her handy cam, which is also just sitting around her current room. Like, wait a second. Oh man, those are the Turtles from my past.
It's just immediate too. She's just on top of the roof, sees them, hears a couple of their names. She's like, Turtles, Renaissance names. Cut to her just looking at home movies of her fucking naming the Turtles. It's like, so her backstory is that, or their backstory is that April's dad was a scientist who created the Turtles, and she was just a kid who wandered around in their lab, recording everything.
Yeah, her dad and Sax.
And Sax, who's funded by Shredder.
Yeah. Secret backing by Shredder.
And the reverse vampires. So yeah, she basically plays around with the turtles and Splinter and gives them all their names, and she paints on their shells the colors. Yeah. And
was it paint or tape?
I think it was paint because it's sort of just splotched on the back of their shells.
Okay.
And she fed them pizza.
Yeah, she taught them that they liked pizza.
Yeah.
Because she gave it to them.
Yeah.
It's trying too hard to include her into their backstory, and then it also, takes away from learning along with her about the turtles because she's already somewhere ahead of the audience.
Yeah, she runs across them and she's so surprised, oh crap, these are bipedal turtles that can kick some ass, and oh wait, I know who they are exactly.
Yeah, there's no wonder or surprise about it in this, which is another thing of not making anything very personal or connecting to the audience with it. In a lot of the early Turtles stories, April's kind of the avatar for the audience as she learns about them.
Yeah.
Kind of helps you go along. And in this, with her being all, I named them, I know them, and I named Splinter after my favorite Renaissance painter, Splinter, it takes away from that.
The movie would have been... There was a very sharp point at which the movie just went completely into the shitter. Mm-hmm. And it was that point at which it was oh, Leonardo, Raphael... cut to home movies of her naming them. It was that cut was the very moment that the movie got terrible. It could have been okay before that, but no.
Yeah. And once April's dad realized he was working for evil people, he immediately went to burn fucking everything. So he burnt down the lab where they're working on the Turtles and Splinter. Well, April was still in it, filming her home movies, and he immediately choked to death on the smoke and died.
Except you learn later that he was also shot twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Sax had to be more of a villain.
Yeah, Sax.
So
Sax did it for real.
Yeah. I like that how they just added that at the end. It was just oh yeah, I shot your dad twice as well.
Yeah.
You killed my dad. No, your dad probably died from smoke inhalation.
So I guess at least he was going to try and save April from the fire, maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe he knew what a bland menace she would be on the world if she lived. So he's I really got to burn her. She's the best piece of wood I've ever seen. She'll burn forever.
The oils in her makeup will cause that to burn for ages.
She's the ultimate firewood.
Yeah, and as a kid, the child April had shit tons of makeup on her too. It's that was the only way they could make them look the same.
Yeah, she's just so fake. Even just where she smiles near the end is I don't believe that. I don't believe anything about her. She's just bland and fake.
Yeah, and it's weird because she gets the most character development. She should be the most fleshed out, fully realized character that exists in that movie.
Yeah,
and she's not.
No.
Raphael probably is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raphael's sort of just because they focus on him a little more and he does a few other things besides being angry.
Yeah. Basically, the turtles get raided by Shredder and Raphael's the one that gets left behind, so then he goes to rescue them, so he gets a bit more camera time, I guess.
Yeah. Just think of in the original movie, when they realize who Shredder is. He takes off his mask, realizes Splinter is the one who scratched his face. It's big moments, and they have a really cool fight scene on the roof.
And the fights too.
Yeah, all this connection that makes sense, and it doesn't feel like you're just slapping it on, so a character can feel connected. And the fight where Raphael gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
It's so personal. You kind of feel that when he's getting the shit kicked out of him.
The tub thing where they heal him,
Yeah. They have all that personal stuff between the turtles, so you get to know them even better when they go to the house in Northampton.
Yeah, but there's nothing. There's none of that in there. It's just like, here's the turtles. They're caricatures of their own selves.
Yeah.
Like, and they're the stupid turtles too. They're not like they're not competent at all. They're just idiots.
Yeah.
Like, they just stumble around the whole time. Like, even when they're fighting, they're just like, oh.
and the fight scenes are very impersonal and just they zoom around. They're just about big spots, and maybe they're trying to show off 3D too. I don't know, because they're doing a lot of spinning around with some of them, and I'm so done with the whole slowdown during a fight scene with the because they do that all over the place in this movie, and I'm sick of that. That's in so many films now. That should be dead by now.
Yeah. I know, like, Michael Bay was only the producer, but it really did feel like a Michael Bay movie. There was fucking explosions, big set pieces, and slow-mo. Like, it's just bullshit action scenes and no real depth. Like, that's Michael Bay all the way through. It's weird.
And let's talk about what the Foot Clan, if you want to call them that's plan, Sax and Shredder, the dynamic idiots. Their whole plan was they're going to poison the world with this stuff they developed, which they show off, which instantly kills a guy by like rotting his skin or something.
Yeah, it's like a chemical weapon type thing.
Apparently it's curable, even though he looked pretty dead immediately.
Yeah, he died within seconds.
Yeah.
Like, they just put it on his face, dead.
Maybe because they shot it right into him. Maybe if it's diluted in the air, it won't kill you that fast.
Maybe, but they didn't really... Well, obviously it wasn't clear.
Yeah, they didn't make anything very clear about it. But, their plan was to make the antidote for this stuff through the turtles, which is what they were doing the testing on them for originally. And then they thought they were dead after the lab burned, but then 15 years later they find out the turtles are still alive. So they're like, all right, we can go ahead with our plan we had 15 years later. Because we had no other plans between then and these 15 years after.
And they were just fucking waiting to do that. They were just sitting there, like, on the edge of their seat. Yeah. They're just waiting. Okay, we're going to destroy New York with this stuff as soon as we get that mutagen.
Yeah.
As soon as we get it, like, we're all ready. Everything's all ready. There's no wait time for any of that stuff.
Yeah, they really have it all sitting there.
Yeah.
You'd think maybe if you have all this time and resources to put into if this thing from 15 years ago shows up again, maybe you could have started on a different plan.
Yeah. Well, it's weird, too, because, like, that shit's on top of Sax Tower.
Yeah.
And, like, what if a hurricane happened in the past 15 years? It's in New York, a coastal city. Like, you could have bent the tower and then killed all of New York without a way to cure them.
Oops.
I guess our evil plan just kind of fucked up.
Yeah. But then they find the turtles are still there, so they raid the lair to get them, except Splinter, because apparently Splinter's no good. They don't say that. He just stabs Splinter for dramatic convenience rather than taking him.
Yeah, they just leave him.
There's no reason for that. Especially, like, there'd be a difference between the turtle's blood and the rat's blood, but they don't bother with them. Just, we're not taking Splinter. That's the story. Yeah. And we're just going to leave Splinter on the ground dying and hope he's alive by the end.
Yeah.
But they think they can take the turtle's blood and extract mutagen from them, which is apparently what the cure for their chemical weapon is.
Yeah. But they decide to extract all of the turtle's blood.
Yeah.
They make it very clear they want to drain them till they're dead.
Yeah.
They don't want to leave them alive so they can create new blood and get more of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to create these little canisters of mutagen that's going to somehow save all of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then just let the turtles die. You know, this miracle.
Yeah, and that they're just going to get stupid rich apparently off of selling the cure. That's their idea.
That was that was Sax's end goal. It was like, I'm going to get stupid rich.
Yeah, I'm going to get rich, like stupid rich. Oh man, you're stupid rich, you.
It's their whole plan though. Is kill New York, blackmail the government with your cure for the poison that kills New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then government pays you and you get rich. And what was Shredder doing? Like, why did he want it? they're gonna rule New York.
Yeah.
Like, why just New York?
Shredder's just apparently off doing petty crime before the Turtles showed up again, too.
Yeah.
Like, we need to make them see that the Foot Clan is the best or something. I don't know. And then he does, of course, let me kill one of my henchmen scenes to prove how badass I am. I hate those. But what I really loved about the Turtles cure thing is, as soon as they are starting to extract their blood, they go off and start putting it into motion to release the chemical stuff before they've even extracted the mutagen from the turtle's blood. So they haven't tested this shit. They don't know if they actually have the cure. They think they have the cure, but they don't know. They didn't even expect the turtles to mutate because, like, Sax is in awe of them when he first sees them. He's like, we were just trying to make a cure. I didn't expect this. So clearly things did not go the way he had planned. So maybe there's not even a cure in these things.
Well, also, during those 15 years, he couldn't figure out how to make mutagen again. Mm-hmm. So he's just going on faith that there's mutagen in their blood still.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like you said, they're extracting the mutagen while they're getting ready to deploy the chemical weapons. Like, at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, they do that so that April can have her scene and the Turtles can have theirs. But it's the stupidest fucking plan ever.
Yeah, test that shit before you go, well, let's poison the world. Do we have that cure? It turns out it didn't actually go the way we planned. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Guess we're moving?
So, useless green goo.
Yeah, it could have just been useless green goo.
Like, and, like, when they captured the Turtles, too, they had the 4 cells, even though they left Raphael behind because Karai said that he was dead. But then when Raphael shows up, they just immediately say, oh, this cell's for you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he wasn't dead and you knew that he wasn't dead. Why did you just leave him? Or why did you leave Splinter?
Why do we do anything?
I don't know. And then, you want to talk about the way Shredder looks?
Ugh. Looks like a blocky piece of crap who pulls blades out his ass.
Yeah, he does that stupid Wolverine thing, like, over and over again. He goes, shing, shing. Just like every scene that he's in, he has to do that at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. He just shoots off so many blades from his arm. It's like, where did they all come from? Oh no, I'm Shredder. I pull some blades from the space between spaces.
I like their reasoning for making that Shredder suit, too. Because Sax just goes up to Shredder and is like, so we've mixed the best of feudal Japan with modern technology. Here's this suit of armor that shoots swords. It's a sword gun. That's modern technology with feudal Japan. You couldn't have given real guns?
Yeah.
Like, give him a 50 cal or something. Like, really? Give him missiles. It's modern technology. You can shoot anything from that suit. Make him Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like,
why couldn't he fly?
Yeah. Like, no, he was just like in a power suit that shot swords. It's like,
I like when they threw him off the building at the end, too.
Yeah.
His fists, like...
Oh, yeah. They were trying to set up for a sequel.
Yeah. It was probably like what it did, though, in the Turtles 2. There's like, dead.
Yeah. Much better movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch the original movie. It's better.
Yeah. 1 and 2 are dramatically better.
Oh, yeah.
Even, like, 2's kind of goofy, but...
Yeah, 2's... It goofed it up a bit too much, but it's still a pretty good movie. And then 3's...
3's still a better movie.
Yeah, 3's stupid, but it's not this movie stupid.
Like, yeah, the only thing I can say is worse is probably still Next Mutation.
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing that's worse than the movie.
If you want to watch something worse than this movie, go watch The Next Mutation.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to watch right now.
Oh, God. No!